What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to LTH. My name is Abe, and don't forget there are timestamps down below in this video if you'd like to skip to any one specific part. But if you are new here, this is a standalone video, but this video is a part of our series on how to set up a Homelab, which you're seeing on the screen right now. And in this video, we're going to be covering Linux hardening and a 6-video part series because I wanted to keep these videos nice and short for you. But we are going to cover within the next 6 videos how to enable automatic security updates, SSH key authentication, enabling the firewall, installing Fail2Ban, removing unnecessary package, and upload your public SSH keys to GitHub. Alrighty guys, welcome back to episode 4, and we're going to go over Fail2Ban. So Fail2Ban is a log parsing service, but if you just read here, by default, Fail2Ban includes filter files for common services when a log from any service, like a web server, matches the fail regular expressions and its filters. A predefined action is executed for that service. The action is a variable that can be configured to do many different things depending on the preference or the administrator. In layman's terms, Fail2Ban looks through many different kinds of logs in your system, including SSH brute force, services, web servers, whatever on your computer. And if it sees a hacker or somebody trying to log in to your machine or one of your services on your machine repetitively, it can ban, block, or, temporarily ban that IP, that user, or whatever for a certain amount of time for you, so you aren't susceptible to hacking and brute force attacks. And it's a great thing to use when you are making your services public to the internet. So we are going to install it with sudo apt install Fail2Ban. Click Y to continue with installation, or enter because Y is capital and the default, right? So you don't actually need to type it if it is the default. And then we want to make sure this service is started and enabled with these 2 commands: sudo systemctl start Fail2Ban, and then sudo systemctl enable Fail2Ban. And we got it. It's up and running. We didn't receive any errors. And then we can just ensure that it's running with this sudo systemctl status Fail2Ban. And we can see that it's been running for the last 24 seconds. So it worked. And then the next thing we want to do is do a little bit of basic configuration if you would like to, but once again, you actually don't need to. It will work right out of the box as is, but Fail2Ban does use these things called jails to define what services to monitor and how to respond to suspicious activity. And you can create a local configuration file. Once again, they recommend you create a local configuration file of the original jail configuration file. Never directly edit the jail configuration file. And if you open the original jail configuration file, it actually tells you that. So we're going to do this command, which is a sudo copy the original jail command file from this location, and then in there create a jail.local configuration file. Okay, so that's what the CP is. Command is copying this file, name that file this, and store it in this directory. Okay, and then now we're going to edit that local one. So remember, we're editing the .local one, not the configuration one. And yes, these settings will apply because it can see the local configuration file. And so common settings to review are the ignore IPs, IPs to never ban, for example, your own IP, ban time, how long in seconds to a ban should last, and then, for example, 3600 is for 1 hour, okay? Find time, time window for counting failures. Example, 600 seconds is for 10 minutes. If you would like it to block an IP address for like 3 attempts within a 600-second period, then you would set that. And max reentry, the number of failures before a ban, okay? And so in here, we can see, you can read through all this, right? How to activate jails, you should not modify this file, but because we copied it, this is the local file, so that's technically not true, right? But this text right here is in the normal file that we copied, right? And so default ban time is 1 hour. You can uncomment this if you don't want the default and you would like to set it to less than that or more than that, right? SSH HD enable, see jails configuration 5 man page for more information. So you could also look at the manual page of how to do this. Comments, use a # for comment lines, and then this little semicolon comma thing following a space for inline comments. Okay. So includes, let's see here what we got. The default allows a global definition of the options. They can be overwritten in each jail afterwards, okay? So default is just this applies to all log files. Ban time increments allow you to use databases for searching for previously banned IPs to increase the default ban time using special formula. The default ban time is times 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Ban time increments is true by default. So you can read through all this, right? Like I said, a host is banned as if it's generated max entry during the last find time. Seconds is 10 minutes, right? So if 10 minutes goes by and it only tried 4 times, and another 10 minutes, it can try another 4 times and not the 5th time, and it still won't ban the IP address, okay? So you could change this to like in 1 minute, if it fails 5 times or whatever, then ban the IP address, right? And so on and so forth. And you can, once again, read through all this, kind of past the scope of this video, but I just wanted to show this because it is something that you could edit or change if you would like to, okay? And then down here, we have our SSH servers, our drop bear ports. It's looking for these log paths, but this is where you essentially create jails, right? Each one of these are a jail. Apache authorization, the bots, and so on, right? So this is looking for a lot of different things and a lot of different paths, right? So guacamole, web admin authorization, like a lot of defaults, right? As very popular things, 3 proxies, FTPs that Fail2Ban is already going to look for, okay? So you could go to all the way to the bottom if you want to start a new jail, or you could do a jail anywhere in here. But these are just all examples of a jail. But the other thing we want to do is just check the status, right? So if we want to check a status of a specific jail based on the jail name, we could do that with sudo fail2ban client status, and then SSH ID, for example, is the one jail we're currently curious about. And we can see no one has attempted to SSH into this jail or failed to do so. And there's no one currently banned, and then there's no one on our banned IP list, right? So you could check specific services if you were worried about them. Anyways, I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is how to remove unnecessary packages from your machine.